So we can start. Anyone like to join? They can join in some time. I think we are 16.
Yeah.
So good evening, all. Thank you for being here. I mean that, not as a pleasantry. I mean, thank you for making the decision to be here, because I've been talking to most of you people for the last 3-4 weeks, and I'm sure that the decision to show up is the hardest part. Everything after this would get easier, right? So my name is Ayub Sheikh, and I'm a Group CISO and Chief AI Security Officer for Blue Cloud, and I'm a co-founder for Global SOC, which is a cybersecurity advisory consulting company based out of 6 countries. And in the last 25 years, I have built many SecOps operations, built national level security programs, been advisor, board advisory, and I have managed risk across various countries, Middle East, US, UK, Asia Pac. But I'm not here today to tell you about my career. I came here because there is a tectonic shift happening in the industry right now, and in UK specifically, and in every organization, every industry, and this is going to divide the professionals in two different groups, and those who govern artificial intelligence and those who are governed by it. And this is already happening. So this program exists to make sure that you are in the first group. So that's the reason why we all gathered here today, to understand the industrial landscape of AI governance, the job roles in AI governance. Many people get confused, they could not find many AI governance job roles, but don't worry, there are various different names, because the AI governance is a function and there are multiple subset job roles which are coming in AI governance. So as the industry is not yet standardized, but you see a lot of new job roles, emerging job roles here. So you will be understanding more of that, what are the new emerging job trends, what domains are you would be learning, and how this course would be helping you with. All right. So what we are going to cover in the next 90 minutes, and I want to be very clear about something, that this is not a monologue, and this is not a webinar, and this is the most important career benefiting you will be attending now. So make sure that be attentive, and try to ask as many questions as you can. And then we can clarify more than answering your questions. We'll be giving beyond insights, research, what we do, the kind of understanding what we have. We'll be sharing all those things. Okay. So first thing is, first of all, I'm along with me, we have my colleagues Sujay and Dr. Saujanya. We are the industry expertise over here, who would be taking you through the entire training program. So Sujay, get back to the first slide. Okay. 1 second. I think I'm having. Just give me a second. My internet is little. So most of you knows me, but I'm not alone today. So you're going to meet 3 more people, Sujay and Dr. Saujanya, who representing something no other AIGP programs in the world could offer, a triad of expertise. I'm myself a strategist, and Dr. Saujanya is an auditor. and Sujay is a risk architect, and I'll introduce them in a proper way in a few minutes. So the next AI resolution revolution is happening in AI governance, and I'm going to show you those numbers, not just the theory with the evidences, the real numbers, what AI is doing to the UK economy, to the job markets, to the salary benchmarks, and some of these numbers will definitely going to surprise you. And why we need to get into GRC, why GRC, and why AI GRC. Before even we talk about AI governance, we need to talk about the governance itself. If you come from IT, technology, legal, compliance, HR, finance, risk, whatever your background are, AI governance is agnostic to industry, agnostic to domain, agnostic to the job role. You already have your required expertise. You would be complementing AI governance on top of your current expertise. And why AI governance is non-negotiable? Because this is where it will change the entire perception, how you think about AI. Because the real failures, you will be knowing about the real catastrophic incidents which are happening across the world, the real people getting harmed, real organization getting destroyed. Recently, if you remember, uh, Starbucks have removed AI because it goofed up with the supply chain. I don't know how many of you have read that news, but every other day there will be new news and incidents about the AI goof ups. So that is the exact need or example of why AI governance is mandatory. So that is they have more reasons to know about this and learn AI governance. And the other part is the UI regulatory landscape shift, which is happening in European Union. They are the pioneers of AI governance and the AIGP. And my colleague, Dr. Saujanya, will walk you through the regulatory maze and the AIGP exam itself. What would be the curriculum? How would the structure, how the curriculum structure would be, and what we would be covering together, all of us, three of us, to bring you with that real-time example. It's not about just clearing the AIGP exam or theoretical exam. It's about how you understand the nuances of implementing it real time and working on the real world challenges. So Saujanya would be taking you through the program details, comparisons. Then we can come back together to show you what you're really getting into. So that is what we would be learning it today. Careers, we will be discussing about the career opportunities, jobs, enrollment, selection criteria, interviewing criteria, and we'll close that part with the matter so that no, we can able to look at what the real world examples, what are the salaries, how the employers are recruiting. So all these things. So the 90 minutes, 11 sections. By the end, you will have everything you need to make the most important career decisions. To why to choose AI governance. So let's go ahead. So let's go to the next slide. No, so one second. Yeah, thanks for that, Sujay. So before we go further, I want to introduce you to my three friends and the partners in crime, who is along with us, who would be who would be joining our journey along with us for the next 30 hours, 30 sessions. Because the single most important question you would ask about any of the training program, who is actually teaching me. So this program definitely is not going to be a theorist program, and everything is all delivered from the practitioners. So let me start with myself with a brief. You know already about me. So I'm a AIGP certified from IAPP. I'm also into AI governance. Uh, in the last 25 years, I've implemented a lot of GRC projects, implemented controls across various countries. And last year I got certified on AIGP, and I'm certified into AI security governance. So the last 25 years I have spent building cybersecurity operations, advising the boardrooms, not in the classrooms, though I'm not a great trainer. But AI governance is something which is encouraging me to take up this as a trainings, so that we can able to share the experience and the knowledge, because I find a lot of gaps in the training when I was going ahead and doing getting trained for AIGP. So the biggest gap what I found there was, we couldn't able to get the right material, the right examples, and the right content. That's where that was a challenge. So mostly I have sat in the rooms where a CEO asks a CISO, what is our AI risk? And most of the CISOs fail to answer that. And that's the biggest gap in the industry right now. So in this program, we lead the strategic sessions, and I would teach you why AI governance matters at the board level, at the tactical level, at the operations level, and Saujanya will also teach you on the EU AI Act, not as a legal textbook, but as a business reality for every UK firm selling to Europe. And I would share my knowledge, expertise how to evaluate and govern AI deployments, because there is a rapid deployments, adoptions, implementations, integrations are already happening across the world. So 85 companies across the world, 85% of the companies across the world are already implemented AI, some other form. You are already aware of that. So to introduce Dr. Saujanya, she is an auditor and compliance navigator. She holds a PhD. She is a ISO 27001 implementer. She is a CISA certified. She's on the board of ISACA Hyderabad chapter, and she has been the one who sit across the no, audit across the table, who does the audit. So when any of the ICO auditor asks you to prove that your AI systems has a lawful basis, or to provide you with the evidence of processing personal data, Dr. Saujanya is the person who will teach you exactly what that evidence looks like, what it says in a textbook, what the auditors actually want to see you on their desk. So she is the one. So she leads our data privacy sessions, AI governance, the NIST frameworks, AI RMF frameworks, ISO 42001 deep dive, and she facilitates you the first mock exams and how to take you through the AIGP entire curriculum. And she would be helping you with the mock test, practical hands-on experiences. If you want to be audit ready, she is the person you want in your corner. So next is Sujay. Sujay is a GRC and risk architect with a CISP ISO 27001 lead implementer, lead auditor. And he himself, in fact, we both have worked on many projects in multiple countries for implementing information security GRC project. He himself has implemented enterprise risk programs across multiple organizations in multiple countries, multiple industries. So Sujay is one person who makes governance operational. So before we even, most of you might not be aware of IT governance. So before we get into AI governance, it is necessary for everyone to understand the principles of the GRC. So that is where Sujay would be taking us and navigating through the nuances of implementing, operationalizing the GRC. He does not just teach you the theory of risk register. He teaches you how to build that risk registers, how to build various templates, how to do the AI impact assessment, how to do various risk assessment, and he walks you through how to handle an AI system that has just made a decision in the production. So uh, here is what yeah, makes this team different from other AIGP programs. You get 3 professional networks, 3 different LinkedIn connections there, where people can they can write the recommendations for you. 3 people who will answer your questions long and provide their side of perspective, their side of expertise on knowledge with you, so that you become more hands-on and no expertise. So we call ourselves the triad of expertise, strategist, auditor, risk architect together. So we cover the every domain of AIGP exam and the AI governance and the IT GRC with the real world depth that no single trainer can provide. And this is not a marketing, this is a structural advantage that directly affect your exam readiness, your career outcome, your hands-on experience. So this is what we are planning to do it. Sujay, can you go to the next slide? So as you know that the AI revolution is shaping up already. So every industry is now adopting and implementing AI, some other form. Every day you are reading, listening, seeing the news across AI, various incidents and the events we are knowing about it. So I want to tell you something that most people in this room have not fully observed. So AI is not coming. AI is already making decisions about your health, your finance, your job applications, and your children's education right now in this country and every world, every part of the world. All right. So what is the size of the market? The size of the market is already exploding. I have already shared a lot of insights and the research data about the AI governance across the world. And it's a 803 billion pounds market. And that is what AI is projected to contribute to the UK economy. So it's still growing by, no, it's going to grow by another $803 billion by 2035. Uh, and this is going to shape the UK economy. And this is not a niche technology. This is the next industrial revolution, which is already happening, and we are watching it happen. All right. So if you look at the LinkedIn data, there are a lot of job roles which are there for AI risk, AI governance, AI security, AI reliability. These are the job roles are shifting. So LinkedIn's data from 2026 tells us that 40% of the core technology skills which is present now, okay, will be shifting from 2027 onwards. Earlier it was expected to be like changing by 2030, but now because of the AI, the rapid adoption of the AI and the implementation, it's actually nearing that the timelines. Most of the changes are happening quicker than we expected. So, which is 40%. That means the skills that you already are mastered, which you have built, your current roles will not be enough to keep it. And there already been a tectonic shift. There has been a career shift happening. There is a job displacements which are happening because of the AI, and the new roles of in AI and the cybersecurity are coming up. And AI governance have taken the front line and the new frontier of cybersecurity. And the question is not whether you need to reskill or upskill. The question is whether you skill into something the market is desperate for, or something that will be automated next, because most of the roles are getting automated. And we have seen with our friends, we are reading in the other day, recently I was reading a news that Cognizant and Capgemini are now releasing, almost 15,000 people. I was reading a news recently that TCS is also going to lay off around 30,000. I'm not sure the authenticity of the news, but I was just reading about it. The roles are not they are not laying off the role. They are the shift of the job roles which are there, because uh, the AI is they have implemented AI, and that already is showing the impact around the repercussions around. So AI governance roles in the UK is definitely growing at 20% a year on year, and it's going to hit like 30 to 35% a year. And this is not trend. This is already explosion. And let me also tell you why it is, because the organization already deploying also, you also know this, and faster than what they can govern. So usually whenever you see any technology is implemented, whether it is cloud, it is blockchain, whether it is virtualization or anything, so usually technology always implementation of technology is always faster than which they can govern. But right now with the AI governance, without the AI governance, the technology is going to create a lot of issues, and it's a threat. That's the reason why there is a huge demand and need for the AI governance. Right. So it does not matter, what sector you come from, whether you are from banking, you are healthcare, you are from manufacturing, you are from technology, IT. AI is like not reading X-rays, making diagnostic recommendations, financial analysis, approving the loans, deciding our child's career futures, the education, the legal, you name it, any industry is like a whitelisting or whitewashing. So it's happening everywhere. Okay. And here is what that desperation translate to is the kind of demand and the kind of job roles and the kind of packages it is going to offer. I think it's wherever we are seeing the kind of the packages we are seeing, they're really lucrative packages, some around 95K to 225K pounds, or are still growing depending upon the what background, what experience, what domain you come from. So all those things are there. So organizations are deploying AI at scale, no doubt about that, but they do not have a governance professionals, the supply versus the demand to oversee it. 76% of enterprises says that governance guardrails are their single best obstacle to AI deployment, but that is also a solution. And 97% of the UK businesses have at least one AI skill gap, because there are new job roles coming into AI. They are hiring AI operations, AI reliability engineer, AI governance, AI evaluation engineer, AI security, and the AI governance, and they are paying premium salaries, and there are not enough qualified people, and that gaps exist, and this gap is widening. So that's the reason, good reason for all of us to to get into AI governance. So that is where, for us, for today's sessions, we want to give you that visibility into the entire AI governance job roles and the markets and the industry where it is giving. So you're gonna be hearing from Sujay next on the GRC, and followed by Dr. Saujanya as well. Sujay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Ayub.
Thank you.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, all based on wherever you are. I think Ayub has given a pretty detailed introduction on the current market landscape and the opportunities in market. But before we go ahead, before we delve into the AI realm, one of the very basic understanding that we need is about the three pillars of governance, because we are going to talk about AI governance throughout this. So I'll first quickly walk you through the three pillars, namely the G, R, and C governance, risk and compliance first. Okay. Now, I will not give you a definition now. All of you would have already gone through the definitions. We'll again redo the definitions in the regular classes. But before we go ahead, what I want you to understand is, where is this these terms coming in? What is the meaning, or where does each of these term help us, right? So primarily governance is talking about who decides, who is in charge, and how decisions get made in an organization. What is the objective of any business? So you all work for various companies, right? So what is the primary need for setting up a business, irrespective of where you are and what industry you are in? Why do you set up a business? Anybody? There's no right or wrong answers, so just trying to make it a little interactive here.
Why do you set up business? Is that a question?
Yeah. Yes. Why do you do business at all?
To make profits, to
solve a problem.
Earn a living. Solve a problem, yeah.
Solve a problem, right? So ultimately, you have certain objectives. When you set up a business, when you set up a company, you have certain business objectives that you want to achieve, right? It could be solving a problem. It could be, making profits. It could be any other objective. So who is guiding you? How do you guide your organization towards these business objectives? Is what governance would be talking about, right? So every organization you have ever worked has governance. You probably would not have defined it as governance, but every time your manager makes a purchase order, every time a particular hospital takes a decision to decide which tool to use, like I was talking about a lot of medical diagnostic tools where AI is introduced. A couple of my customers already are using a lot of AI enabled diagnostic tools. So you just scan somebody's, upload the X-ray, and then AI is now doing the prescriptions. AI is now predicting potential issues which would have otherwise manually could be identified only after, let's say, 3 years from now, right? So that's where AI is already there, and then taking decisions or driving your organization towards your business goals is what governance will be talking about, right? Governance is probably the answer to the question, like if something goes wrong, who would be accountable for it, right? The governance aspect is what is going to answer that question. And is AI going to fail? Probably yes. At the current stage, there are a lot of, like I told about, the Starbucks case, a lot of cases where AI fails, and then when it fails, who would be responsible for it and what action has to be taken, that decision is supposed to be answered by the governance aspects of the organization, right? Next comes risk. Now, everybody in our day-to-day life, do a risk assessment. How many of you, what is the first thing that you do when you get onto a road? Let's say all of us drive, right? Even if you're driving, not driving, when you are getting onto a road, what is the first thing that you will do? If you're getting
Make
into
sure
an internet.
make sure no one is on the road before we pull off or pull into the road.
Correct. So you've taken a risk-based decision. You've analyzed the risk that, if there's anybody coming from the left, is anybody coming from the right? Is there a possibility that somebody will ram into me if I move now? Should I wait? Right. So you've already done 100 risk assessment decisions till date. So one of the primary decision is to join the session today, right? So you had a risk and an opportunity. You had the risk of AI getting into jobs, but then that also came with an opportunity that you could now pick up a role that is governing AI, right? So every risk comes with an opportunity, and we will understand how these risks, AI-based risks and general information-based risks, have to be identified, and how do we make decisions in order to turn these risks into opportunities. So that will be the entire objective of the risk part in GRC that we will be discussing, right? Now, I again, already spoke about the EU AI Act. You have GDPR. You have various other local regulatory compliance requirements that any company has to comply with. Now, in case of a let's say healthcare industry, in case of finance industries, right? Irrespective of what organization, what geography, what happens if you don't comply with those business regulatory requirements? Would you be allowed to run a business in your particular state or country? No, right? And what could be the result of non-compliance? So if you don't comply with these basic regulations, like for example, in India, if you have to set up a country, you have to comply with all Ministry of Corporate Affairs, requirements. You have taxation, you have privacy laws coming up, you have AI governance laws coming up. The impact of non-compliance to any of these regulatory requirements or contractual terms could range from simple losing that contract to jail terms, right? And there are various cases. We'll discuss those cases starting from Enron to latest issues that we've seen across the industry. We will cover most of the couple of critical cases where how compliance can enable an organization drive business decisions to what could be the impact of non-compliance, and how AI is now driving the compliance decisions to a stage where we will decide what kind of compliance decisions have to be taken while implementing or consuming AI related services within our organizations. Right? That's what we will be talking about in the compliance phase. Now, what we need to understand is that all these three are not individual parameters. They're part of one singular framework. GRC, the three pillars, are part of one singular framework, and it matters because AI governance is not a new invention. So when we talk about AI governance is not something new that is coming up onto the board right now. Governance, GRC has been there for more than a decade. Those terms have been defined, implemented. There are multiple frameworks that have come into the picture. A lot of companies already implement basic GRC frameworks, and they are already using these. Now we are just using these, or we are now adopting, upgrading our GRC frameworks in the context of AI. So when AI is coming into the picture, how does it impact the governance, risk, and compliance features? And what additional policies or what additional frameworks, what additional risks are being brought into the picture? How do we handle that? How do we redesign our policies to handle both design, development, and consumption of AI components across various industries? That is the primary reason why we are first going to talk about GRC frameworks, understand the basics of GRC before we get into the AI governance, risk, and compliance, AI governance aspects of the AIGP course. Right? Any questions on this? Is this clear?
Right. Are we going to cover any certifications related to GRC? Not AI governance, just GRC related?
We will walk through certain frameworks, GRC frameworks, not specific to certifications, but we will cover certain very common frameworks that are required, and then we will learn how to adopt them to AI
I think
Okay.
Swaroop might be keen to understand like ISO 27001 certification, ISO 42001 certification, ISO 31000 certifications. Definitely that would be covered, but not comprehensively as it is the exclusive preparations need for those kind of certifications.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
I will cover the basics, and so that you get an idea of what are the requirements and where are we heading to. Yes, we'll cover those basic frameworks.
And these will be mostly the European governance and frameworks.
Most of the frameworks are luckily based out of US and Europe. India doesn't have a very specific AI governance guideline, but yeah, standards are again global. ISO 27001 is general ISMS, 42001 is AI management system, 27701 is privacy management system. These are global standards. Frameworks like COSO, COBIT, these are all American and European standards. So easy for you to. It's more relevant for you either ways if you are in and around US and Europe. And the specific regulatory requirements that we will be talking about have been, this course is designed for UK participants. So regulatory requirements will be specifically catered to to the audience here. Right. So,
just a quick question.
Yes.
GRC is, I think, existing framework, right? So AI will come. I will be going forward. AI will be added into this framework, and probably we will understand AI related framework, right? So I think I'm seeing some GRC analyst and GRC lead roles in the current market. So. Yes. What is the difference between GRC related roles and AI related AI governance related roles? Could you please clarify?
Okay, so like I said, AI governance, we are not starting from scratch. Okay, if you don't understand the basics of governance, then probably you will not have a good understanding of AI governance also. So you understood what GRC does, right? GRC roles that you are looking at are the basic framework that we will be talking about. And AI GRC, AI governance is just an add-on layer on top of the GRC roles. So when companies are implementing AI related frameworks, when companies are developing, let's say, AI products, in that case, what additional controls have to be put into picture, or what additional controls come into picture are added on top of general GRC practices. So it's an add-on. AI GRC is a plugin or an add-on to the regular GRC roles. So all GRC roles in future are going to be, upgraded to AI GRC roles, if I'm not wrong.
Got it. Thank you.
Right. So what you see are the older, generation roles. But once those companies also move to an AI-based, solutions, then again they will also adopt to the AI governance practices.
So basically,
consider this as a subset of GRC. Go ahead, sir.
So GRC is basically the prerequisite of AI governance. So we're basically going to cover the prerequisites and then move on to the next level, which is the AI governance. Correct?
That's correct. Yes.
So does it give us an opportunity to apply to the GRC roles as well? So once we do this course,
pretty much yes. Pretty much yes.
So we tried to make it a dual track program, Swaroop, so that we can have multiple roles, because there are emerging new roles, like you can start with the IT GRC role, you can start with the AI risk or IT risk or AI governance or IT governance, responsible AI, you name it, and there are a lot of things. So as a part of the entire training program, you would be learning about the multiple streams of interrelated, interdependent concepts.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. So even before we go ahead, we've spoken about GRC, how GRC helps govern and direct the business, right? So these are few examples that talk about what happens if GRC is absent, right? Especially in case of AI, these examples like in continuation to the example that Ayub was talking about, where one of our favorite
Starbucks?
Coffee shops. I think I have it pulled out. This is what had happened with Starbucks, right? Starbucks had tried to put in an AI-based inventory system, right? Now, again, I will reiterate for all these cases, right? It's not a technology issue. These issues are not here because the technology failed. Right? It is. I'll tell you why it is a governance issue. What happened with Starbucks is that they put in a AI based inventory management system, and they trained it. Obviously, we humans train and we feed data, and then we don't we assume certain things. Like, you as an individual may clearly differentiate between what is oat milk and what is a regular milk, what is skim milk, and what is different types of varieties. Even I get confused. I don't understand all the different types of milk, right? So when you have an AI system, it is your responsibility to make sure the AI system is learning correctly, and you have to guide the AI system to take decisions in an appropriate way, right? So this case, what happened is at a certain point, the AI systems got confused between different, let's say, milk types because it was not taught correctly. People did not stop, look back, and validate if it is actually working correctly or not. So then it started assuming certain things. It started misrepresenting the stock. It got confused, and which you and I could have easily managed the inventory, but the AI system was not guided properly. So ultimately, they ended up having over ordering specific milk types that were not used. They were falling short of actual milk types that they were actually using. All that because the AI system was not designed or continuously governed in the right way. Similarly, the same thing happened to Amazon's AI hiring. I mean, I'm confident to take names because these are in public domain. You can go and validate these. Similar things happened with AI hiring tool that Amazon. So these guys spent again millions of dollars creating an AI-based hiring tool, and at a later stage, they realized that it was very biased, and it was penalizing any CV that you see with the word women was actually being deprioritized. So it does not matter if you are a woman, or it does not matter if you've taken part in a women's forum. So if you are a part of any word that you see women, because unfortunately, while training, the people who trained it, the kind of training data that they had, unfortunately, the industry is still, male driven. So at some point, the AI system assumed or learned from the actions of individuals that, wherever there is a women word, probably it is not very well trained, or, these profiles started getting penalized. So it started pushing them down the priority track, right? So when this was identified, it was a huge roar. People Amazon had to bring down that tool. Same thing happened with McDonald's AI recruitment system. UK specifically, post office horizon scandal. I'm not sure you might have heard of this. So this happened between around 99 to 2015. So post office had this horizon accounting system, which was a faulty. It had bugs which generated false shortfalls. So you are a postmaster. You have certain financial entries that you do, and even though you were actually perfectly doing it, because of a bug in the software, this software was posting false shortfalls. So you did post certain amount, and then it was showing certain shortfall, and that led to prosecution of over 900 sub postmasters for theft, fraud, and false accounting across UK. So imagine you are doing everything right, and the system, because of a bug in the system, you're getting penalized, you're losing your jobs. And trust me, around 13 people had actually taken their lives because there were false allegations on them. They imagine the impact on your family because of this. So when you get blamed for financial fraud and kicked out of the job, they have mortgages to fill, their marriages break, it has an impact on their health. 13 people lost lives because of this simple bug. right? And why is it? It is failure, pure failure of governance. People did not understand, they did not review the risks that can be brought in by implementing technology. Is it a technology issue? No, it is not a technology issue. You are not implementing the software correctly. You're not understanding the risks of bringing in certain new technology. A lot of cases, within UK, there are hundreds of cases that happen like this. Facial recognition errors. Recently, there was a case where, underage kid just put a mustache on his face, and then he was able to clear a facial recognition system that was only for adults, right? Because the AI assumed that it matched the pattern. It saw a mustache, and then when you say that you are above certain age limit, it accepted it, right? Similar with healthcare AI disparities. There is a case where certain pulse oximeters and diagnostic AI systems were being biased. So if the user had a darker skin tone, the medical device actually gave a different decision. It took a decision based on the color of the skin. It was biased, and a lot of diagnoses were missed, right? And again, in healthcare, a single misdiagnosis is again a life threat to somebody on the other end, right? So these are a lot of other issues that are happening, and all of these, if you see, are not technology issues. These are governance, risk, and compliance issues, right? You have to understand what are the risks. You have to understand how do you design your systems. You have to understand how to train those systems. You have to understand how to continuously monitor and evaluate these systems on a periodic basis. You have to design your policies and procedures in accordance with all these, risk-aware decisions. And how is governance an answer? You might ask, we find it to be technical issue. You're saying these are governance issues. How does governance fix, right? So there are certain basic answers, certain basic criteria that clear governance brings in to your organizations, which solve most of these issues. Primarily, these are the topics that AI governance will bring in. Accountability, clear establishment of ownership for AI systems across the entire life cycle. Who is building it, who is training it, who is deploying it, who is monitoring it. Every roles and responsibilities clearly defined, and accountability is assigned when you have a proper governance structure in your organization, right? And then having a proper GRC implementation also brings in something called transparency, right? How many of you have used an AI system and have no clue why that particular decision was taken by that AI system, right? Probably, I think, Krishna, you're in SOC, right? So you would have seen a lot of people selling AI-enabled solutions. Everybody now, every SOC solution is AI-enabled, and then they bring up with certain alerts, and they say AI or ML-driven alert, right? But we exactly don't know why what parameters were triggered, what rules were triggered. If it was a regular rule-based engine, I clearly know I have a log of items that, okay, these 5 issues have been the result, or these 5 activity have triggered this alert. So lack of transparency is what is hurting a lot of AI decisions. So once you have a proper GRC system implemented, it brings in a lot of it ensures transparency of the AI system, right? Similarly, fairness and non-discrimination. Like we've spoken about certain examples where AI took decisions based on their gender, AI took decisions based on their color or creed, origin. So AI systems are trained, if not trained correctly, if you don't have proper governance structure in place to eliminate the bias that is getting into the training data, then again you will not have a fair or a discrimination-free AI system, and that is what again GRC, your governance framework AI governance framework is going to help you clear. Again, similarly, the lot of regulatory compliance requirements that are coming in, GDPR. It's not just AI governance; it is also privacy. ICO guidance for UK, EU AI Act has specific requirements. GDPR has specific requirements. There would be various sector-specific requirements. If you're a telecom provider, if you are into healthcare, if you're into power sector, right? If you're into BFSI, so every regulated industry has sector-specific rules and requirements that you need to understand and ensure that your systems are effectively complying with these, because non-compliance is not an option, right? You might have an AI system, you might not have an AI system, but irrespective of whatever is the current infrastructure that you're working with, non-compliance is no exception. Then again, risk management, like we spoke about, the moment you come out of your house, the moment you wake up, every decision that you take is business risk driven. And similarly, for the business, every decision that is taken has to be risk driven. All systematically, you have to identify, assess, and mitigate risks to effectively run a business. And again, with the advent of AI, you are now required to assess and mitigate AI specific risks also, right? It's not just after deployment. So now most of the people come to me and say, "Was we have implemented this particular AI based solution. What could be the potential risk?" That it doesn't work like that. Risk management has to start before deployment, and it has to continue. It is a continuous activity which continues after deployment of AI solutions also, right? And obviously, once you have the required expertise, knowledge, once you implement all the governance, risk and compliance practices, once you have a design and deployment of your GRC practices, this definitely has a competitive advantage. So usually, if you're selling any new solution that has AI implemented in it, having a proper GRC will provide that confidence in your application to all your potential customers and regulators. Trusted AI is definitely a market differentiator. Boards are asking for it. Investors are enforcing that you have a trusted AI governance system in place, and all customers, whoever you are selling to, require you to have a GRC practice in place, right? AI governance is not a bottleneck anymore, and this is in fact the reason we're still in business, and especially when you have such a competitive environment that we are dealing with, having an effective GRC system plus an AI governance practice in place is what is going to save your day in terms of jobs or business advantages. That is definitely going to be the next step, right? I would probably hand over to Dr. Saujanya for the next slide.
Thank you, Sujay, for setting the stage for me. I'm so glad that I've given it so well.
Saujanya, your voice is low. I think
My voice is low.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, now it's better.
It's better now?
Yep.
Yeah. So thank you, Ayub and Sujay, for setting the stage. And I'm so glad that you have given a better background about how AI is really creating that revolution, what is GRC. So now we will try to understand why this governance matters. And from here, I want to take you into a very important thing, which is called regulations. So before going to the actual regulation concept, I want to just ask you a simple question. That when CAST was invented, the government came and say that you should not go up to this limit, or there are without the seat belts you can't drive, or without driving license you can't drive. Is there such type of regulations or rules we are having when the cars were invented? It took some time. It took some time for the government to understand the risks coming with the cars. So later, government came and understood that if they are crossing the speed limits, accidents are going to happen, or if they are drinking and driving and it is going into a different issue. So from there, government started giving some rules like as I told, like without seatbelt we can't drive, or without driving license we can't drive. So they didn't say anything no to car innovation. They said they created some limitations and rules instead of banning the cars. So they made that cars are safe enough for everyone and to trust and use it. The same pattern. Now AI came into the industry, everyone are using, and we are seeing the failures, or we are seeing the risks, what are happening with AI. That is the reason these regulations, rules came into the picture. You may ask, like, AI came far back, but now we are talking about regulations because, as I told, when the innovation happened, nobody knew the risks and nobody knew what are the harms it is going to do. So now government came to the conclusion that we have to keep the strict regulations or rules to use the AI. So before going to the real concepts of the regulations, I just want to quickly clear about something. So because we are going to use these words constantly throughout our course, those are the laws, acts, regulations, and standards, frameworks. I will just give the small difference between each of them. So many of you know, maybe many of you know about all the differences, but I just want to give that background. So law and act are something issued by government. So if we are going to not use that, or if we are breaking that, it will finally turn up into a criminal liability. So these are legally binded. Laws and acts are legally binded and we have to follow. Especially for UK, I can give some of the examples for UK GDP. This is a law. And you can say the Equality Act, that is a law. You have to follow that. There is no choice to just skip that. So these are called laws and acts. And coming to regulations, there will be some authorized bodies like this ICO, FCA. These are some of the regulation bodies. According to the laws, whatever the government has given, they will come up with some of the rules, which again we can't deviate from that. So these are called regulations. And coming back to standards, as Sujay told, we do have standards like ISO, which is the International Standard Organization. They will build standards for each and every sector. Like for data privacy, we are having ISO 27701. For information security, we are having ISO 27001. For quality, we are having 9001. For environmental health, we are having 14001. The same pattern for AI, we are having 42001. So these are not legally required, but if there is no hard law covering a particular area, then your client will ask, like, how can we believe there should be some certification about your product or your service? Then we will go with the ISO. So ISO, as I told, it is applicable internationally. There is no limitation for certain countries. So these are called standards. And we will talk about frameworks now. So we can call this as a structured guidelines. So this is a methodology where we can follow to make sure that whatever the GRC we are having, for example, we can take the example of NIST AI risk management. So this is one of the framework designed by US. So this is not legally we have to follow, or this is not a standard to certify. This is a framework. If someone want to really maintain their AI governance, then they can follow the same framework of NIST AI. I hope everyone is clear about the differences between these laws, standards, regulations, and frameworks. Shall I move forward? Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, great. So now, if you are very clear about these topics, then you are the person who can answer the questions coming from your organization's board. If they are asking you that we have to go for AI regulation, you can ask whether we have to go for regulations or whether we have to go for the standards, frameworks. You can ask them easily. So these are the differences. Now we will go and look about how the world is responding for especially AI. I can say EU is the first act who came for especially AI laws. So they are already in force. They are going to set everything live from August 2nd. So it classifies, like this act classifies the system risks, like whether it is minimal risk, high risk, low risk. According to the risk, they will divide the products. This is the format they use to build that act. So here they will, if the risk is having high, they will just prohibit that product. So this is how they started building that AI Act. And coming to US, after EU, we are having US, as I told, NIST framework is a framework designed by US. And as I told, it's a flexible framework. Anyone can use that, but it is not legally provided, and it's not a compulsory thing that every person who are there in US have to use. And now we will come to UK. So how UK is using it. If you ask, is there any AI Act for UK? The answer is no. No, there is no special act for AI in UK. So they make it as a deliberate choice. They said we already have all these strong laws like this GDPR, UK GDPR, and we are having these regulation bodies like ICOs. So they thought instead of creating a special AI Act, they included everything into all these regulations. So if you are a person who are staying in UK and working for UK companies, you have to be very clear that whatever the acts we are having in UK, everything was embedded with AI. So they are adding every AI things into your present acts. They are not creating anything. Then why this EU AI Act is really suffering UK people? Like suppose your product is, you are having the customers from EU, then you are coming under EU Act, because EU Act is saying that whomever are using or whomever are creating, both will come into this act. So who are providing the services to UK or who are getting the services from UK, both will come under to this act. They have to follow that act. So that is the reason everyone is just caring about this EUA. And coming back to the act, what we are having in UK right now, as I told, there are different regulations. Everything is dealing with different sort of sectors. For example, ICO. Most of you know about GDPR. GDPR is a general data privacy regulation. UK people is having a separate UK GDPR for this. And on the 5th of February 2026, everything was changed. So they have said that data use or access act completely rewrote the rules. And they told that whenever the employers are using AI in recruitment or when they found anything was alarming, they are going under this act. So as I told, there is no separate act. Everyone is using this AI, and they are just included what are the penalties or what are the rules they have to follow apart from whatever they are having as. And one more regulation body is FCA. So they will concentrate on the consumer duty. So the FCA does not ask whether you followed a compliant process anymore. So it will ask whether your AI actually delivered good outcomes for customers. And if you delegate a decision to an algorithm, you cannot blame that machine. You are personally accountable for that outcome. So that is what FCA is saying. And the next one is CMA, which is the Competition and Markets Authority. So this is a 8% data and technology unit investigating something most organizations have not even thought about. So here they are seeing whether AI pricing algorithms are quietly coordinating with the competitors' algorithm without any human instructions them to do so. So these are the CMA acts they are going to see apart from their regular act. And as I told, the last one is EUAA Act. Even though we are Brexit, we have to follow the EUAA if your customers are there from EU or if you are using any EU product. So this is what EUAA Act says. So here, transparency is a mandate thing from August 2026, as I told, everyone should follow this. If you are failing to follow this, you have to pay the penalty. So these are the 4 regulations we are having in UK right now. All are active, all are targeting the AI. And I can say this is not a normal regulatory landscape. You are going to have a lot of threats because there is no one act. Every act is embedded with this AI. So now we will see how we can get this, as a employer or as a business person, how I can challenge this. Here come your answer. This is AIGP. So you said you can just change them. Now we will see how AIGP is going to give answer for this. As I told before, as Sujay said told, governance and AI governance is not different. Both are same. But here we need to understand how we are improvising our governance with the AI regulations or AI, whatever the governments are releasing. So this AI governance professional course will give you that answer. This is one of the world's largest privacy and AI professional body, that is IAPP. We are having around 70,000 people as a members under this professional body. So this organization is also providing CIPP and CIPM also. These are other certifications, other privacy certifications provided by the same governing body. They launched this AIGP in 2024 April. So they are been updating their book of knowledge. Book of knowledge is nothing but the what we call the domains, whatever they are covering under this AIGP. Now I will deep dive into the AIGP thing, because I hope everyone understood why we have to go to AIGP, what the AIGP is going to help the industry persons or the persons who are seeking for their role in governance. I hope everyone are clear on that. Now we will deep dive into AIGP, what it is going to cover, what you are going to learn in this whole course. So in AIGP, we are having 4 different domains, and every single will map directly to what we showed now. So domain 1 will give the foundations, what are the basic names, or we can call terminology of AI. What are the AI principles? What is meant by responsible AI or agentic AI, whatever it may be. All the foundations of AI and the life cycle of the AI, everything you can cover in domain 1. And in domain 2, we will talk about the laws, standards, frameworks, whatever we are having under AI. So remember, whatever the 4 regulations we have discussed in our previous slide, we are going to cover those also. Okay. And later we are going to talk about the domain 3. Here we are going to talk about the data governance, how we can do the bias testing, what are the data you are using for training, testing, and how you are monitoring your devices, how you are managing the incident management. So everything we are going to cover in domain 3. So I personally, when I sat in a audit room where organizations could not explain how their AI model was trained or what data it used. So this will definitely help you how to challenge such type of decisions. And no one are ready to take the accountability of the product what they have designed. Whether it is a developer, whether it is a salesperson, whether it is even the business head, no one are taking that accountability. So here we will get to know who has to take the accountability for which part. And in domain 4, we are going to cover the deployment decisions, vendor management, what is the ongoing oversight. So I can say one thing as a AIGP certified person, or as a person who is auditing AI, everything, whether it is a framework, whether it is a rules and regulations, whether it is a standard, everyone is saying the same. But we have to follow the pattern, how to achieve the governance for AI. That is a challenging thing. So don't think whether we have to read the whole framework or whether we have to read the standard completely. No, there is no requirement of reading everything. Read one, get the knowledge of everything, and you can apply anything in any sort of AI product. And as part of this, I will tell you the exam pattern, how it will be. You will have 100 multiple choice questions. The exam time will be 2 hours 45 minutes. And Pearson is the one who are taking the, it's a third party who is taking the online remote exam. And you have to score around 300 for 500 to pass. And after passing, you have to maintain the CPE, which is a continuous professional education points. It's a mandatory. And the good thing is there is no prerequisites. Whomever are open, like whomever are interested in AI governance, everyone can attend this exam. So these are the details of the exam. So just can you move to the next slide. So I hope everyone understand the pattern. Now let me show you the journey of how to reach to that certification. So we three sit together and we understood like how can we deliver to you practically and theoretically and by giving the real-time examples. So we decided we have to deliver this in 30 hours, which will be like 15 sessions. And as we all of us know, we are going to plan this in a weekends, and we are going to start this from May 30th. So all three of us are having different expertise. So we will cover all the sessions, and you will get to know like who are going to take which sessions. And the first 4 sessions will build, as I told, the domain 1, 2, 3, 4. There we are going to cover the domain 1 like AI fundamentals, responsible AI. And by this session, you will understand more about AI governance than 90% of your UK professionals. This is not an exaggeration. It is a reflection of how new this field is. And from the 5th session to 8th session, we will go deep into the legal framework. Here we will discuss about your UK GDPR, how they are implementing AI into them. And we are going to see UAA Act, and we are going to see NIST framework. We are going to see this standard ISO 42001. We will understand everything deeply. And from session 9 to 11, we will go in hands-on, like we will try to build some risk registers. We will try to build impact assessments, how we can do this bias testing, how to read them, how to actually build them. Everything we will learn from 9 to 11 sessions. From 12, like the 12th session, we plan to have a mock test where we will have some limited questions, and we will help you to understand like whether you are on the track or not. We will help you to score the marks, and we will explain each and every question, whatever we are giving in that mock exam. So this is, we are going to plan the 12th session, and believe me, this session will definitely help you to get confidence in yourself. And from 13th to 14th session, we will talk about generative AI, agentic AI, vendor contracts, ongoing development governance. We'll cover all those things in session from session 13 to 14. And in our 15th session, we will have a full-fledged of mock test with 100 questions. And here you will get a real-time experience of writing the exam before attempting that. This will completely changes how you perform under pressure. Now, I want to be very, very honest with you. There are other AIGP courses which are cheaper ones, self-paced ones. So why this one? You have to know that because we are not preparing you for an exam, we are preparing you for a career. So I'm very glad that you took the decision at the right time to take with this exam or to go with this career. And from here, my colleague Sujay will help you to understand better parts of the course.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Sajana. So before we go ahead and compare our course with others, I would want to give you a quick split of what each of us would be presenting. Ayub has already given an introduction initially on what is our skill set and what we'll be covering. But yeah, I think again, just to reiterate, Ayub, being the strategist, the architect, somebody who has founded and successfully run various organizations. He's the one who's advising boards. He's been a CISO, group CISO, who's director in multiple organizations. So I comes with a very specific or an overall experience in both technology and governance aspects. So he will cover the sessions 1 and 2, why governance matters, how responsible AI principles. He'll also cover session 3 and 4, which talk about building governance programs and lifecycle policy. So that is a logical extension of his experience with managing the board requirements, ensuring organizations comply with the regulatory requirements. His experience in designing frameworks. In fact, IAPP has extensive experience. He's worked with various governments across globe, across various continents in creating those governance frameworks and policies, designing policies. So that experience is what he's going to bring in here. And then session 7, he will talk on EU AI Act from a business perspective, right? It's not from a theoretical right, but it is more of an implementation experience. He will share his experiences and experiences of his customers in complying with acts like EU AI Act and other similar acts, right? And then session 13 and 14, he'll cover topics like evaluating AI for deployment and governing them for ongoing use. So he will be bringing in his boardroom expertise because he's the one who is actually guiding various organizations, various boards, various governments across continents to develop these and implement various AI governance frameworks and policies, right? Then coming to Dr. Saujanya, again, like, I was already said, she's the auditor and compliance navigator for this team, right? So she has extensive experience sitting on the other side of the table. She's been, that's the value add that she brings in, right? She has experience with both, implementation, design and implementation of the frameworks and also auditing of that framework. So she would cover all the data privacy elements of domain 2, data governance concepts from domain 3, right? And since she's been in the audit front, she understands, what ICO would ask for if there is a review, what an ISO auditor would expect to see, what is the kind of evidence that you would need to show, what is the exact format in which data has to be presented in order to, pass the audit. And she would also come to you with a lot of do's and don'ts in order to comply with various requirements and clearing audit requirements, right? She will also cover session 5 and 6, UK GDPR, how is it applied to AI, how is it applied to intellectual property, what are the anti-discrimination laws. She'll talk about NIST, AI risk management frameworks, ISO 42000 and OCD general principles. So there might be a couple of overlaps depending on our individual expertise. We will try and repeat certain important topics across so that you get experience, knowledge from all 3 of us wherever required, right? Because each of us would have our own examples, our own expertise, our own views on certain topics. Which again, I think the most important feedback that we have received from this particular format is that it is thought-provoking, because each of us have our own opinions, each of us have our experience and views of a particular topic that gives a 360-degree view of the actual governance practices, and that you can directly take it back as a learning and start implementing it in your current organizations right away. Right? That's the kind of objective we have from a 3% training that we have. Again, me personally, because I come from a tech background, I've been the ethical hacker, forensic investigator, and then I'm now also empaneled as an external auditor for certain certification bodies for ISO audit. So I will give you an overview of the AI governance programs. I will talk more about the governance in general, which again, I will also cover the governing, sessions 3 and 4. I'll cover about architecture and governance programs that I've spoken about. Session 9, I'll cover about AI governance, designing AI system governance, impact assessments, AI impact assessment, what are the risks and metrics to measure and monitor risks. I will be covering that. And again, session 7, I'll cover topics about release readiness. How do you detect drifts? How do you perform security assessments, red teaming, and incident management using and impacting AI, right? So that's the security background that I come from. That's my expertise, testing systems for security issues and governance issues. So I'll be able to talk about those. And the final session, the session 14, we will talk about deployment governance and deactivation controls. Again, we are talking about the entire life cycle of an AI system, right? It's not just inception of an idea and then deploying it. We will also ensure you understand the deactivation requirements also, right? And to compare with other programs, the data is here on the screen. I think one of the top USPs for this particular program is the fact that it is not one person, it is not a monologue where one person talks, right? It is a combination of 3 different instructors with extensive experience in various aspects ranging from general IT controls to AI governance practices. So that is the primary differentiator for this course. You will learn from 3 different people. And unlike others, this is not a pre-recorded session. This is not a self-paced session. This is a live instructor-led session. You will again get a copy of the sessions for reviews, but since it will be more interactive, since it will be led by 3 specialists, that's one of the USPs. And this particular course, like I said, it is designed for UK residents, UK people who are looking for jobs or who are looking to upgrade their skills within the UK and EU regions. So this is specifically designed for them, targeted towards this particular audience. And we are not building we're not working on building a CV. We are building a portfolio. So ultimately, after this training session, the expectation is that you will directly be able to take this knowledge and start implementing this in your current roles, right? You're building a AI governance portfolio and not just adding an additional line to your CVs. That's not the objective. You should be able to take this knowledge back and start implementing that knowledge from day one in your current roles. And also this should help you build a career across. This is not something that is happening today. This is something that will help you across your career, right? So that's the objective. And again, obviously, there will be a career support. We'll help you review, revise your CVs. We'll have mentors, throughout till you decide on what kind of career you want, how different. I think we will also have certain sessions on interview support also. How do you prepare for interviews? What kind of questions will come in? Not just for the objective is not just to clear the AIGP certificate. That is one part, but the focus would be on learning the core concepts that you can take back and start implementing in your current roles, or help you get a better role if you're looking out, right? And AIGP is a part of that. In fact, I would say AIGP is not an objective of this training. AIGP is a result or consequence of this training, that you learn concepts that you can directly clear the AIGP certification or any other AI related. Yeah, Ayub, you're on mute.
Just to piggyback on, add on to what Sujay has said, because while we were learning AIGP, AI governance, like I started my journey into AI governance a couple of years back, and it took me a while to monitor the progress, how it was expanding, how it was exploding across various countries, geographies, industry segments, how the regulatory bodies were looking at. So after working with many governments, authorities, and the regulatory bodies where they were taking AI governance very seriously, and they started they're asking us to write the governance laws for them, policies for them, for policies for the AI, frameworks for the AI, laws for the AI. So that journey actually helped me to understand the gravity of the situation, and I could able to clearly see the how the trends are going to shape up the countries. And the similar kind of thing happened in GDPR, in 2018, when GDPR got enforced on March 25th, 2018. So, that was, I gone through that cycle of, how the GDPR law was implemented, how the companies were enforced to act. And during that time, me and Sujay was almost writing the laws for the like data privacy laws for various countries. So in that process, in the last almost 7 years or 8 years, we have written or reviewed data privacy laws of 35 countries, and it gives us an exposure how whenever a new law comes, when especially EU, they are the pioneers of the law. So whenever these kind of laws comes in, how exactly the industry responds to, what would be the consequences, what would be the industry shifts, job shifts, skill shifts. We have seen that experience, and the same kind of cycle what I've been experiencing now with the AI governance. And there are a lot many reasons. Maybe I'm not able to articulate you properly, but AI governance is going to stay for a long time, and it is going to be your career shifter. And you will thank me after couple of years when AI governance is like everywhere, and you are the pioneers or the early birds, early starters, and having that advantage with learning the AI governance. I'm sure that it's going to bring it. But in addition to that, there were challenges for us to learn AI governance for ourselves, and also it was a real challenging for us to build that practice of AI governance, build the resources on, build the teams on AI governance, prepare them for AIGP, and ourselves we were preparing for AIGP, and it was not easy at that time because there was no content, and the control and the content was, or the material was copyrighted. It was not openly available in the market. There was no course material. No one was providing us the training, so it was a self-paced learning, and it was quite a difficult for us. And we identified that no, yes, this is going to be a challenging task for us, as we are the early birds, the early starters, so we will get some challenges. So whatever the challenges what we have faced, then we thought of remediating, or giving you that advantage in our training programs. So it is not about learning the textbooks and getting the passing the exams. No, it doesn't serve the purpose. When I train my team members, I make sure that apart from the concepts, they are learning the hands-on practical things. They should be knowing how to do the AI implementation as an impact assessment. They should work on the templates. They work on the use cases. They should be working on the real-time scenario. Suppose, for example, if a bank is implementing an AI solution for assessing your credit profile, how is it going to impact? What would be your role in that? If a hospital or healthcare company is going to implement an AI, what are your roles? What is your day-to-day activities and tasks, and how would you be managing or and executing your role as an AI governance professional as a part of that project? So we would dissect all those job roles, activities, and your task, so that you can be trained exactly on the concepts what you are learning, and you are implementing those concepts in the real-time scenario. This is the biggest differentiator what we can bring. Every use case what we bring is a live use case, which we are working on now. As a CISO, as a CISO, I come across a lot of industries, a lot of our clients who are facing governance issues, and those issues and those problem statements are converted into use cases, so that we can present it to you, and we can train it across to you. So that is the biggest advantage what I think we can able to bring, what the rest of the others cannot be done. Apart from that, we are also developing LMS where it would be an interact, because it's going to be a little of dry subject. You will feel bored about it because it's all about policies, frameworks. Okay, unless until if I don't make it interesting for you, it would be really challenging to keep up the motivation levels. So we are building up the LMS, we are building up the tools, we are building up the platforms. Our developers are working relentlessly on that, so that we could be releasing the interactive platforms for you to have the most effective. Because the biggest challenge for me, personally, I would say, the cognitive decline, declination, at this age, at this responsibilities and the stress levels what we are managing. I'm sure it is not easy to to cover the subject like this, and there should definitely would be a challenges, but we are all in the same boat. So to make it more interactive, more interesting, more engaging, so we have designed, we have architected some very good tools, platforms, LMS, mock test, and whatnot. So to make sure that you are learning it in a practical way. All right. Uh, Sujay, can you go to the
Easy way to say that you're getting old.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
privilege.
Right.
So it's a
Thanks
privilege.
for
So,
covering that.
And all this YouTube shorts and all this short content format is not helping. It's even making
Yeah.
it worse, keeping
yeah,
lowering our attention span.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So these are all the challenges what we all are facing, and everyone are facing the same challenges. Because in my team, every day at least few people comes to me and tell me, you tell me as how to pass the exam. First of all, passing the exam itself is difficult. They feel it difficult because they could not able to understand the concept. If they understand, they don't remember the concept. They don't recollect the concepts. So these are the challenges we all are facing. So
Yeah.
it is there. So we thought, okay, let us build a platform for them so that they can practically learn, and then it can help them to recollect. Why? Because it is not technical. Many people ask me this question, that is it everyone need to have a technical expertise or a cyber security expertise? No, it is non-technical. It is agnostic to any technology. We don't need a technology here. If you go and write with the technical mindset, I'm sure that you are not going to clear that exam. It's a logical sense, more than the logical is a common sense, right? So that's what. So when it comes to the careers, many people might be interested to know about the careers, and I know what you all must be thinking. So this all sounds incredible, but I'm not a technologist, I'm not a coder, I'm not an engineer, and I don't write codes. Can I really do this? This is the common questions which I get to ask, and unanswered. And really, I feel sometimes like I wish I could able to give a very simple answers, that you at the level where you are, the domain expertise what you are, whether you have 15 years of experience, 20 years of experience, or 25 years of experience, though AI governance is your entry point, but would definitely would not be entry level. It would be complementing your, if you have 20 years of experience, it would be complementing your 20 years of experience. AI governance definitely is not a technical role, and I'm going to say that again because it is the most common questions which everyone asks me, that AI governance is not a technical role at all. It's a cross functional discipline, and it's a strategic role. It is not operational role, it is not tactical role, it's a strategic role that values legal knowledge, risk awareness, sector expertise, which you already have, and the governance thinking and the critical thinking. Okay, whether you could be a technologist, you could be HR, you could be finance, you could be policy writer, you could be coming from the legal background. This for everyone. The AIGP course gives you the the total understanding from where you have your domain background and expertise. That is what. So if you are a legal, if you come from a legal and compliance, if you can interpret a regulation, draft a policy, and navigate a regulator, you can govern AI. You can govern the AI systems touching the personal data, or the PII data, which needs the DPIA, or everything which is automated decisions which are made the whatever the language you already speak it, because these are the language which any of the legal teams speaks about. If you are a finance and the risk professional, and if you have built risk models, run audits, manage GRC frameworks, or the AI governance, is the same discipline applied to the new asset class, nothing different. Algorithmic trading oversight, you already are using algorithmic tradings in the stock tradings or any other tradings. Model risk management, AI driven credit scoring fairness, this is what you would be doing. And if you are coming from the HR and the people management, or the human capital management. If you understand employment laws, labor laws, and its fairness, you understand why Amazon scrapped its AI hiring tool, why Starbucks scrapped its logistic tools, okay, supply chain tools. You understand why EU AI Act clarifies HR AI systems as high risk. People analytics governance is one of the fastest growing subdisciplines in AI governance. So there is a lot of scope for you, for the people who are coming from HR and background, and it desperately needs people who understand humans, not just algorithms. Okay, so for the technology, because most of you are techno, because I know them personally, I spoke to you on many multiple scenarios, I understand the backgrounds, understand the problem statements. So I know most of you people, and always, I know people ask me, whether are we relevant. So Anand was asking me that they are, that he come from a testing background. How can he be relevant? You are absolutely relevant, because whatever the skills you have learned in your domain, your job role, the same thing what you are adding over here. I'll give you an explanation very briefly, Anand. I'll speak to you separately. But no, if you are building the systems, then it is your responsibility to protect it, govern it. So you can govern them, the MLOps compliances, AI safety, model governance, all those things are needed. You already understand the development, you already understand the software development life cycle, you are already doing the agent life cycle development. Now you learn how to put those governance guardrails around it. You can become the bridge between the engineering team and the board. The biggest gap which I see, because I talk to the board, I talk to the governments, I talk to the various authority, the biggest gap what I see is a board communication gap. So their technical teams are implementing AI, everyone are implementing AI. No one has a clue how to communicate the AI risk to the board right now. And I see the biggest gap. I know anyone can go to the board and tell them, okay, hey, this is what the AI risk is about. Though your engineering team is implementing the AI, but this is what the business risk about. There's a compliance risk around. This is the tangible or intangible risk around. No one. I haven't seen anyone who coming across that. Whether you are from a healthcare or life sciences, a public sector policy writer, whoever you are, look at no any of the whatever the slide, whatever the information you are seeing here. If you, whatever your background is, find your sector, find your background, understand that you are not starting from zero. You are starting from 80%, and this programs gives you that last mile connect, which is a final 20%, and the credential that provides it to every employer in the country. And it is going to it's you can going to explore this coming forth, because a lot of policy changes, policy updates are coming in, which requires AI governance mandated at every level, everything you touch, because AI has touched every life of us, right? So
Ayub, I think Murli had a question. Krishna also raised hand once. Murli, you have any question?
I just want to
your voice is breaking, Murli. It's not clear.
Sorry.
I can't hear actually. Anybody else can?
No,
his voice is breaking.
No worries. We
maybe you can
back.
put it in the chat.
We can circle back. Yeah, you can put it in the chat. We can circle back, and we can cover that as well. So I have shown you why AI governance matters, why AI governance is the next biggest career shift, which every one of us, it transformed my career shift. It transformed Saujanya's career shift. Sujay, each one of us has experienced this, and almost like 15 people in my team who has started who has nothing to do with the GRC or the AI governance. Now they are driving, hands are full, bandwidth totally blocked, choking. So there is a huge requirements in the market. You won't see it happen right now in the on the LinkedIn few of the times, but yes, I think Saujanya has did a fantastic job bringing in all those URLs, all the sources where the not showing the demand for the AI governments, which you would be seeing in the subsequent slides. So I have shown you that your background qualifies you, whatever your background is. Now let me show you what is the prospects, where the money is, where is that lucrative packages which are there in the market. So there are globally 13,500 almost roles which are there. And AI governance roles are indeed alone as of this month, they have seen almost 13,000 roles which are there. but the namings are different. Don't get confused with the namings. And they are not projected, they are not estimates, they are projected live right now. They are real jobs awaiting for the qualified people, and they are real jobs, and the namings would be different. It's okay, don't worry about the names, because still the standardization terminology standardization has not yet started, has not yet happened. So you might see, we'll guide you with those things. And the Hay recruitment data from 2026 shows that the professionals who gain AI governance skills see 8 to 12% of salary increase, where I have seen in my own experience at least 50% to 120 to 150% of increase also happen. I'm not exaggerating it, because of the gap in the supply and demand, because of the practical expense. Though there are almost thousands of AIGP certified, 80% of those AIGP certified people could not able to execute a single task and put them onto operational role. No, they cannot. So this is what the gaps, what we are trying to address in this training, so that we can give you that practical hands-on. When you are deployed, you can hit the road running without any skill lacks. Okay. So typically, if you look at the mandates, what we are getting paid, because we are getting a lot of projects from the US, UK, and Australia. So per mandates somewhere around 650 to 700 mandate per day, which already the contract. These are all contracted, which are there in the contracts. The one-stop people in their track, 657 pounds per day to 700 pounds or 750 pounds. There's a day rate of any AI governance manager, whatever it is getting outsourced to India, whatever it is there, which is employed in a full time. And LinkedIn jobs are also on the rise. If you see, there is a 20 to 35% of the job roles which are increased on AI governance, AI risk, responsible AI trust engineer, AI security. You see a lot of jobs coming over here. And most of these jobs are remote, they're hybrid, they're on-site, and a lot of you see a lot of permutations and combinations. So here is something that most certification programs will never tell you, that I've spoken to the recruitment managers, I've spoken to the hiring managers, and they all say the same thing. Certification alone is not enough. It will not guarantee you the job. It can make you eligible, but it can't guarantee you a job. They want to see those governance artifacts, what you have drafted, what you have written, what you have reviewed, what you have audited. They want to see the risk registers which you have built. They want to see the policy document which you have drafted. They want to see those audit trails which you have done. They wanted to see you the reports what you have generated. They want to see you those board presentations which you have did to the board. Okay. And what impact you have made in your organization, what kind of problems you have solved, what kind of assessments you have did. This is what is being assessed. So if I want to recruit AI governance professionals, I don't even look at what they have studied. I would ask simply, what have you built in AI governance, what you have executed in AI governance, what you have conducted. So they want to see you can do the real work, not just pass the exam and come with the certification and not deserve a job. No. And that is exactly why our program is built around portfolio building. You do not just the learning the AI governance, you build governance document, you walk out of this program with a portfolio of at least 10 real artifacts that you can put on the table in the interview. Show them, okay, this is what I have been done. This is what I have built. These are the templates which I worked on. These are the use cases. You talk the language as if in a real time, you have worked in a real time scenario. This is what we actually are planning. And we see the gap in the market directly. And it's not the multiple choice questions which the interviewer would be asking you. He would be asking you the real time challenges, whether you have worked on those real time challenges or not. Right. So there are multiple job postings. Sujay, if you can go to the next slide. The numbers are really powerful, but nothing more powerful than seeing the real jobs from real employers posted right now. So we will share the presentation with all of you after this session. These are all working links. These are all the postings which are there in the LinkedIn, Indeed, Seek, Dice, and across every place. So jobs are there. There is no dearth for jobs. It's just that the skill gaps are not there. Yeah, thanks Sujay for bringing up those things. So Saujanya has done an amazing job in terms of providing and accumulating all the job roles across various platform recruitment platforms. So what we are going to do? Yeah, Sujay.
These are some just a sample actually.
Correct.
A lot of more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've got a few of the job roles which I can be sharing those things. So Swaroop, you asked, this program helps us build that portfolio and artifact. Absolutely. That is the whole purpose of this program, to provide you that hands-on technical things rather than just learning the theory and working out. It defeats our purpose. So when you look at, that's the differentiator of learning from the real active practitioners and rather than the trainers, and real-time scenarios and the problems what we are solving. Living in the day of a AI governance specialist or AI governance manager, understanding the task and the activities, what they do, what Sujay is working on the AI governance front, what Saujanya is working on the AI governance front, what I am doing at the strategy level, writing the AI strategies, presenting the AI strategies to the board of directors, presenting the implementing those AI strategies on the ground level, solving those problems across the organizations, across the departments, across the technological fronts. This is something beyond AIGP certification program alone can offer to you people. Okay, so this is where we wanted to have that the key differentiator. So to sum up the entire discussion, what you had in the last 90 minutes or so, that I have shown you how the AI is shaping every industry in the UK. Sujay has covered the need of the government GRCs, and then Dr. Sojani has provided you the insight into the regulatory landscape, regulatory compliance landscape, that organizations deploying AI faster that can be governed, and the regulatory landscapes which are creating mandatory governance requirement, which are already boosting the jobs. And the AIGP certification is a golden standard certification in the AI governance. And ISACA has released one more certification last month called AIR, Advanced in AI Risk. That is one of the AI risk management certification, which is gaining traction fastly. Yeah, I have also registered for this. The same problem I'm also facing, cognitive decline. So yeah, I have the book every day. I'm reading at least. I determined to read at least 10 pages every day, but after 10th page, I don't remember what was there in the second page. So that is there, and it will be there. So that's the reason why I asked one of my genius AI developer, okay, build me the app so that I can have an interactive based learning and immersive based learning with it. So have given that idea based on the problems what I have been facing, and I'm going to give a demo of that app very soon once it is in the beta stage. And this would be the game changer, which I believe it would be helpful for everyone who wants to get into AI governance, because there is an easy entry barrier at this moment, but 6 months down the line, it will not have that advantage, the early advantage what we have right now. It doesn't have learning because the kind of the syllabus which I had covered, like me and Saujanya, it was like POK version 1. Now it became version 2.1. So the versions are become as the versions are increasing, the more content would be added to that. So the early you prepare for the exam, early you take the exam and you get into the job roles, it will be easy for you because it's only a 2-year-old domain which you have got. So, but what I want to end with something more personal is, I have been in the cybersecurity for 25 years. I've seen the trends come and go, and I'm telling you with authority, with everything what I have known, what I have experienced, that AI governance is not a trend. It is not something which is not a win. It's a permanent transformation, because every technology, every industry, everyone's life is getting touched by AI, and that AI governance is not a trend. It's a permanent transformation of how every organization on earth will operate. And the professionals who position themselves now in 2026 will be the leaders of this discipline in the next next decade, who they would be ruling the next decade, because we are the pioneers of that. We would be moving the positions fast. We would be taking up more responsibilities, shouldering more the more changes which are coming in the organizations, and you have a better chance to be one of those people. So with this, I bring this session to the conclusion. So we will let us touch base
A
on
couple
the
of questions in the chat, Ayub. So Murli, we've covered the risks and solutions here in this slide. All these are AI risks only, having biased output, right? So could be data privacy breach based on a AI, algorithm issues. There are model drift, third-party risks, lack of explainability and transparency. So these are AI risks. These are real AI risks that have happened in the market. And solution, again, we'll discuss in details in the next session. But yeah, this slide basically covers your question. Yeah,
Murli, when your organization is building implementing a CRM or integrating a AI-powered CRM, or building any or integrating any new products, new solutions which has got AI, if you have no visibility how that AI agent, now we are talking about the Gen AI agents, we are talking about the autonomous agents, if you don't have a visibility of their actions, means if you don't have a visibility of how their action, what is the outcome of their action, how they are communicating with every agent, how they are communicating with the external tools, what kind of access do they have, what kind of protocols are they using, if you are unable to see, that is a risk. Because what we observe that any AI for a prolonged time of task execution will definitely go for hallucination. So as a human in the loop, you need to understand that okay, this are the checks and balances and the guardrails which you set. Again, you can able to bring it back, align it back to the as per the standard standard SOPs, so that you can able to monitor, manage the risk and the compliance which you are adhering to. Because based on the geography, based on the sectorial regulations, you have to manage your AI. So you'll be learning all those things in the classes, and practically you would be experiencing how this concept what you're learning would be implementing on the real time. We can go to the next question.
Yeah, Unni raised hand.
Well, just I observed that all the three of you are having qualifications which like CISA, and you said that you were all involved in system security and all that, and which means in a way it has some element of, I think I would say, governance also along with what you people do. So it was probably quite easy for you people to transition into governance. But for people coming from, say, software development or testing environment, will the transition be as easy as we hear?
Well, that's a very valid questions and valid apprehension from various people only. But however, to my observation, irrespective of whichever the background you come from, how are you setting the governance or setting up the guardrails of the AI which are implementing in your domain? Suppose if you are coming from the testing background, the software testing, you are coming from the QA background. Now, most of those automated testing tools which are using are AI enabled. Now, as a AI governance, it would be your task and it would be your responsibility to ensure that those products which you are using internally are adhering to the guardrails, adhering to the AI risk frameworks or AI governance frameworks, so that you ensure that there is no hallucination, there is no biased there is no discrimination while delivering the output of this device. That is one. Some of my friends come from the product development, they're product manager, they're software coder, DevOps, DevSecOps. So when they how they benefit from the AI governance is to deploy the AI governance in the software development lifecycle, because whatever the products you are building now, those products are coded by the AI. And if the AI coded softwares, if you are building, you need to ensure that they are properly governed, they are assessed on the risk side of it. And whenever you when you ensure that these are tested, validated, evaluated, then only they are allowed to ship. So this is how you can able to implement AI governance in your existing roles, in your existing functions, in your existing departments. So many of people might be expecting that there would be a new roles, especially for the AI governance, but there will be roles in every department with regards to the AI governance. There will be roles in every function, every organizations on AI governance. This is already happening, and you will see more of these roles coming into various functions, various projects. Every project team will have one AI governance professional. Every department will have one AI governance professional, and every organization will have multiple AI governance based on the departments what they have.
And I
So,
want to add one more point here. So sorry for interrupting, Sujay Garu. So, Unni, according to your question, I'm the best example for you because I came into IT as a developer. Later, I transformed to GRC. And you may ask, like, maybe GRC is different and AI GRC is different. No, both are same. The rules are different. Maybe you can see more rules for AI governance compared to the normal governance. That is the only difference. So I hope whomever are there in the industry who can understand the process or who can understand the structure of the organization, they can easily adopt to the governance. It is not dependent upon the development of AI or designing of AI model. Nothing is related to that. You just need to understand the rules. You just need to understand where we have to apply those rules. That's it.
Yeah. So Roop asked, the AI pre-sales part. Yes, there is a new role which is emerging in the market, which is called AI pre-sales, because a lot of AI product companies like Claude, Anthropic, ChatGPT, and various companies which are evolving, the product-based AI product-based companies which are evolving. They're looking at AI pre-sales who understand the models, who understand the governance part, who understand the various nitty-gritties of AI governance management. These are new roles which are there, and it's not yet there in the market, but there's a huge demand coming in. So I thought of including the AI pre-sales also. Yes, it is as a part of it, which we can have at the end of the session. Swaroop, Anand was asking, could you please show us some live governance? Let me share my screen, and we have pulled out something on the LinkedIn. Okay.
I think Sajna has already shared.
Shared,
Okay,
yeah, I shared one.
Already shared. I think Krishna had a question.
You could show me in the jobs or not in LinkedIn.
There are there. The naming terminologies might be differing, but yes, there are there.
Show me that. You can see the terminology, whatever is there.
Sorry, Anand, can you repeat that?
Can show us in the job serve site.
Okay, sure. So, Sajani, you have opened, or shall I open it?
No, she shared the link.
Can show. I shared the link. You can click on the link.
The page is not open for me.
Oh.
No, it is open.
Let me open that and show it.
It's on the screen. Can you just check?
No, that's a different one. Otherwise, let me share. Okay, and there is one interesting thing which I did. Okay, one of my team member, I wanted to create a scheduler for him to see. Okay, let me show you this one. So I created a schedule on a Claude, and what it says is, okay, find me the jobs which are there available. I have chosen India as a market. So what it has given me every day, it gives me what are the list of AI governance jobs which are getting released. It talks about the employer intelligence, what they exactly are asking, what is the recruitment procedure. So I've given a prompt. I'll share that prompt as well. Just copy paste on your Claude. And if you have a co-work option, then you can create a scheduled. So every day it provides you with the market intelligence, market signals, job signals from the markets. It will analyze the entire market. It will provide you. I'll share you that link, and I'll show you now how I have did that. One second, let me share my screen. Here it goes. Okay, so this is what I have created over here. So, okay. This is the prompt which I have written. So I can just copy paste the entire prompt. You can just, instead of Chennai, India, you can use UK or your own places. So what it does is every day it provides me these things. So AI governance, job market intelligence, career strategy operatings. Then it will give a context about what are the regulatory pull dimensions. It will give you enterprise adoption dimensions, credentials, qualifications, demand. Okay, skills and skill gap and the emerging technologies. So I'll just put it over here. Just a second. So you can use this as a schedule and you'll get it. I'll show you the example how it actually provides me with the report. Let me pull out one of the report. Give me a second. AI governance. Okay, here it is. Let me share my screen again. Can you able to see now?
It's loading.
Not yet.
Not yet?
Yeah,
No, I think so.
it is up.
Okay, this is the format. It would be in 10 page. So every day it provides me with the intelligence, what it has. Okay, it gives me a executive summary about how is the
I think
we lost you.
Okay. Looks like a power cut. Krishna, you had a question.
Yeah, technically, you both, Sujay and Sarjanya, both are ISO certified, right? So the question
Yes.
would be, what comes first, ISO 42000 or AIGP? Because Ayub did share one thing, and now it also says the 42000 as well. So I'm a ISO 27000 lead auditor and implementer. So
Shall I answer this, Vijay?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. So I can tell one thing to you, Krishna. So if you are asking me whether it is ISO 42001 or whether you are going to AIGP, I would say if you need audits only related to ISO 42001, you can go with that. But if you need expertise in the governance of AI, because in AIGP, you are going to cover not only 42001, it is also going to cover EUA Act, NIST framework, everything. So my suggestion is first prepare for AIGP. Even though if you are certified or not, it's a secondary thing. Then again, go for 42001. It will be easy for you to understand everything,
right,
because
okay.
you are going to cover everything in AIGP.
Okay, great. Yeah. Okay, and
Yeah.
I think the question Anand and Uniji asked the same. I've been asked from many people the same. How can we correlate the testers testing profiles versus the developer profiles to this AI governance part? I think you've initially answered, Saujanya, like comparing the driving part of manual versus automatic versus the now if I have to mention about the Teslas. So yeah, we always check first and then drive, right? So
Exactly.
so the governance is totally correlated.
Yeah.
So
Governance,
governance
we
is
can call
basically a
it as
logical
common sense.
next.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's a
Yeah,
logical next step for any role actually. As you
yes.
grow in the hierarchy,
Yeah.
I think the basic knowledge that you should have is like Dr. Sarvina and I both were reiterating that you should understand the structure of the organization. You also should understand the business. So as long as you know
Yeah.
that what are the different functions in the organization, what is HR doing, what is IT does, what admin does.
Yes.
If you have that basic knowledge of this business structure, then it is enough for you to understand governance, because that is where governance starts. Once you understand business, that is enough. And the more technical knowledge you have, the easier it is to evaluate different controls, evaluate different solutions. So when I was talking about, Murli was asking about the fixes or solutions to those AI risks. So when you don't understand technology, it becomes more difficult. If you have basic understanding, if you're coming from the bottom up, then it is easier for you to pick up the GRC practices.
Yes, that's right.
If you ask me, like, if it is easy for freshers or if it is easy for experience to shift to governance, I would say it is easy for the experienced only, because
that's
you know
right.
how the business works.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, Anand was asking the same thing. I answered the same. So it's quite easy for the experienced professionals or individuals, rather the freshers.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Freshers, as in if
The
you're
starters,
fresh
new
to
from
the AI,
I think
college grads, it is not possible.
Yeah.
If you're
I think
transitioning into AI, then
Som is fresher, I think. Som Dulipala. So
okay.
Yeah. And
recent graduate.
Okay. A lot of Big Fours also hire college grads.
They do, yeah.
They do, yeah.
And technically, if they have got the AI hands-on, practical, a person side of it, they can achieve this as well.
Yeah, it's added flavor to their profile.
Yes.
It's more of an attitude thing than knowledge to get into some companies. So if you have the right attitude, then they definitely pick up.
Yeah. And do we have a percentage as a percentage criteria here for IAGP? Like, yeah, we've got CISM, and I've already posted in the chat. So domain 3 is quite interesting and tough phase, I think. So do we have any percentage for the examination here as CISM?
Domain wise or for
Yes,
system
domain wise, yes.
Domain wise, yes. We do have
35 marks.
Okay.
It's 35 marks per domain.
Okay. Great. Okay. You're back. Thank you.
Yeah.
We lost you for some time.
Yes. So you were you were sharing something.
Let me share you my screen again. So this is what we have made the market intelligence, regulatory changes, regulatory body changes, AI governance, chief data officer, Nomura, a data scientist, responsible AI ethics and compliance officer, alpha legal tech, 8 to 15 lakhs LPA. Then head of data and AI governance, multiple GCC employers, 35 to 70 LPA, 10 years of experience. So I have already shared you the prompt in the chat so that you can make that modifications. It will provide you with the employer intelligence briefing, what they are looking at, how they are. It will identify the signals using open source intelligence and social media intelligence, and will provide you. And what skills and certifications to fill your gaps, skill gaps. It gives you everyday basis. Most in-demand certification, IAPP is AIGP is the highest in demand. It's a golden standard certificate in the AI governance at this moment. It has been leading the certificate most highly in demand certification for the last 2.5 years. 2 years, and then comes the ISO 42001 lead auditor. CIPP is on data privacy, but it's there. So what are the emerging roles which on the radar is agentic now? There are Gen AI governance, agentic AI governance specialist, autonomous agents AI governance, AI supply chain risk assessors, And career pivoting into opportunities and AI, these are the roles which are there. Your upskilling path. I think you can generate all this, using the prompt which I've given it. You can schedule it. So these are my prompts. This every day it creates a briefing for me. So every day I read about this, and then no, this is something else. Sorry. Yeah, that's about it. This about April 7th. Credo, Standard Chartered. So every day I look at, the jobs are increasing. There's always on higher side, we can see a lot of volumes which are increasing on daily basis. So AI security also, there are a lot of job roles. Agentic AI governance specialist, there are a lot of roles. Cloud and AI technology governance, there are roles. But however, you can able to change the geography, and it will provide you with the right roles. Hope I have answered your question.
I have one question to Sujay.
Yes.
I'll shut up later after this. But yeah,
sure,
Sujay,
yeah.
when we talk about the third-party vendors or third-party risk team, right? So we have SaaS solutions which are existing ones, and they are enhancing to AI as a feature, right? Now they've met the regulatory body or the regulation of ISO or the rest of the things, but they've already developed the AI in feature, but they are not aware of this regulatory. But as in the organization, we are already meeting we are already using that. So how do you assess as a risk? And they'll have to go through all the DDQs again as the application onboarding part or infosec reviews and all, right? So how do you? I'm going through as a live example, and I've got a call in coming weeks for the same reason. I think Murli was asking with the right example, risk and compliance. How do you achieve with this challenge? Because they met ISO 27000, but they have no idea. AI EU Act is still in progress, but the ISO 42000, they'll have to learn about it again to implement. But the risk is already in the place. So
yeah, I get where you're coming from, because I were like VC for a couple of companies, and this is a daily request for us. Somebody wants to use a new AI tool in the organization. Somebody wants an AI tool to evaluate their emails and summarize the emails, answer the emails for them before they log in to the office, right? So one of the major problems that we see is all these tools that you are talking about are already not just ISO certified, the tool is also SOC 2 certified, SOC 2 compliant. So they will give you these reports. I was recently working on a AI-based email analysis solution that this company wanted to subscribe to. But when we closely look at the contracts, right? So everybody is an ISO. You know how ISO certificate is obtained.
yes.
You know how SOC 2 is obtained, right? You have specific scope that you get to decide. Now, this application is actually depending on OpenAI's LLMs. Okay, the company is SOC 2 certified, but when you look at the architecture, when we got their architecture and we asked them to explain the architecture, then we realized that the application that you give access to, so you have to give your Gmail access to that application. Now, understand that application and LLM are two different components. Okay, application and LLM are not common. So the Claude GUI web interface that you see is different. Okay, and the actual Sonnet or Haiku model that runs behind the scenes is different, right? So first thing is we have to understand the difference between application and LLM. Second thing is when this application gets access to your data, it takes that data, sends it to a LLM that is hosted by OpenAI on their network, gets the data evaluated, and then that is sent. The result is sent back, and then it implements or enforces that change on your Gmail. So it categorizes it. reads your email, and so just because they are compliant doesn't mean that they satisfy all our requirements. So depending on the risk that I am willing to accept, depending on the compliance requirements, let's say if I don't have to comply with EU, GDPR or AI Act.
Yeah.
So in my region, maybe that is acceptable. But in your region, since there is a new change, what is the first clause that you talk about in ISO? Context of the organization, right? External and internal context. So as the context changes, your risk keeps changing, and you have to keep changing your contracts to suit those. So in your contract, you should have these additional clauses that talk about the new evolving conditions, that privacy conditions. You have to have all these contractual terms, and we personally ask them to share the detailed architecture, evaluate that only when that is clear. See, otherwise I wouldn't understand that these guys are sending data to OpenAI,
right?
Because they are SOC 2 compliant, they are ISO compliant, and we are giving them access. So they say, promise, and it can't run on compliance, cannot run on promises, right? It has to run on evidences.
Yes.
So until and unless you get understanding of the detailed architecture, we would not allow any such access.
Right.
So
That's
it's
right.
not certifications are not enough unless you clearly understand the architecture of those applications.
Right. Yeah, that makes totally sense. Yeah. Thank
Can
you.
I
Thank you,
add
Kiki.
something to this, Krishna, if you are
Yeah.
okay?
Yes.
So usually if we are going for TPRM, we will go for DDQs, right?
Yes.
So if the party is having any certifications, that is completely fine, where we can trust them up to some extent.
Yeah.
But in whatever the case you told, the party is not having any certifications for using AI. Am I right?
Yeah.
In this case, you can pick up a separate DDQ which is covering your AI questionnaire. Okay.
That's right.
Apart from the normal DDQ, you have to prepare some AI DDQ where you will list out all the requirements, like whether the data privacy is there, where they are getting the data, how they are using our data. Everything you have to cover in the DDQ. And accordingly, you have to divide that into the risk category. And again, we will go to our risk register. We will divide that according to our risk. And from there, if it is in high risk, we have to start thinking about our controls. That is a process we will follow. Usually, if they are not having
that's
any
right. That's the process which you're trying to achieve right now. But
exactly.
In coming weeks, probably we'll have to go for a RAC status and mark the RAC status as well until we can decide on the risk statement. So
exactly.
That is,
I'm a more technically inclined guy. Yeah, I'm a more technically inclined guy. So
we're going to be learning across the next consequent days on the trainings. So so we would be starting the next batch Saturday. What time suits for everyone? We can think if this is the same time which we are studying today, or if you want a different timing on a weekend, because these are weekend batches. Every weekend, like Saturday 2 hours and Sunday 2 hours, we would be covering this for the next 6 weeks or 5 weeks, basically. Along with, if you add career means career transformation support and a career support, we will be helping you in terms of discovering the job roles, helping you prepare for the interviews, helping you prepare for learning the hands-on. It doesn't many people take this out of context. They think that it's a job guarantee something. No, it is not a job guarantee. It all depends upon your skills and your determination, how your competence, how you build across. We are here to provide you support to make sure that you get the job roles. All right. So that career support will always be there. Okay. And then we'll be helping you with the practicals hands-on. Even after the completion of the course, also we'll be extending alumni support and the tool support and the content support, updations. We'll be keep doing that. So what time we can able to start the next batch, next class? Can we share? Can we have a poll on the WhatsApp? How many confirmations we can have, and what are the timelines, or what are the times we can able to? Slightly early. Okay, sure, Swarup, we can we can do that. Please share your inputs on the WhatsApp group, and accordingly we can able to accommodate 4 p.m. or so. Okay.
And what will the certification cost from AIGP?
The certification cost from IAPP itself is $800, $799 for their kit. The exam cost, training material, and the 1-year IAPP membership. So that's called the kit. So if you are a member, it will cost you $699 or $650. $650, yes. If you're a non-member, then it will cost you $700. Yeah.
So apart from the course fees, like what you mentioned there, so apart from the course, we'll have to pay individually and then get the certification.
So this is excluding the course. Okay, Sujay has shared the link. So this is a purely training, the fee what you would be paying to us. So once you are comfortable to take up the exam, you can visit IAPP website, and you can buy the exam voucher. You can register the exam on the portal itself. Any other question?
I think we've already dragged them too far on a Sunday evening.
Yeah. Sure.
But we are fine because we have a bank holiday, and thank you all the speakers, because this is midnight for you guys, and on a Sunday.
Fast.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you all. Cheers. That was a great session.
Thank you.
I'll stop the recording.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good day. Have a great
Good night, everyone. Bye.
Night.
Good one.